Across Australia, the wheels of industry turn 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. These machines are tough, and the teams of people running them are even tougher. But what happens when these massive machines break down?
Now for the fun bit.
Teams of Aussie mechanics, engineers, fitters and boilermakers step up to battle against tight deadlines in some of the harshest working environments on the planet.
These are the optimum working conditions.
From deep underground, on the water, on the front line, to high in the sky, they do the vital repair work to keep these heavy metal wonders alive.
Planned out well, it turned out better.
This is Mega Mechanics. This time on Mega Mechanics. The crew at the Leichhardt Bus Depot in Sydney, New South Wales are dealing with more than their scheduled maintenance after 2 buses collide.
Oh, look, it's a pretty decent front ender, one of the bigger ones that I've seen.
With resources already stretched to the limit, a breakdown is the last thing they need.
Yeah, there's nothing I'm able to advise you over the radio. I'll get a mechanic to your location.
So we're going to change the starter motor.
At Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers in Brisbane, Queensland, an old workhorse needs to look like new again to get maximum return at auction.
We need to give the machine the best possible chance to give it the best possible money. You can't expect to be rolling a machine like this in through the gates and then expect to get $500,000 for it.
But with a tight turnaround, everything needs to go to plan to meet the deadline.
There's no not getting it done. We'll strive to get everything on time and to a standard that they expect.
In the hot and cramped confines of an engine room, the crew from River City Ferries in Brisbane is trying to disconnect not 1, but 2 diesel motors.
This one's not going to play the game today.
And as other city cats line up for maintenance work, the pressure's on to get the job done as quickly as possible, but without a hitch.
Yeah, it's not something that you want to drop, that's for sure. It's a bit out of your paycheck.
They're not cattle trucks, they're carrying people, and you got to make sure it's safe for all the passengers.
Just a stone's throw from downtown Sydney, this busy bus depot is one of the largest in the Southern Hemisphere. It's responsible for transporting almost 2 million people a month.
Well, we got a fleet of 225 and 197 of those have to be out for the morning peak.
Andrew is the lead mechanic at the Leichhardt Depot, the person in charge of keeping buses ready for the road.
It's hard running the Kingdom.
Andrew's staff of 30 engineers and mechanics look after a fleet that includes diesel, gas and the new electric buses, which are worth more than $700,000 each and can run for up to 2 full shifts or around 16 hours on a single charge.
We're one of the first in Australia to have these vehicles, so we can't call anybody and say, hey, have you had this problem? Have you done this job before? We're sort of in the trenches and figuring it out for ourselves for the first time.
The team juggles routine maintenance with running repairs as they try to keep almost 200 buses operational at any one time.
Yeah. Nice one, Daniel. Fixed it. It's good. It's good. Don't worry about it.
Today, 2 of the fleet have been involved in a crash.
Oh, look, it's a pretty decent front ender, one of the bigger ones that I've seen.
The 2 damaged buses will be repaired at the same time. On the first bus, the cracked windscreen will need to be removed to clear the way for a new pane of glass. The 100-kilo replacement is already on site. It will be lifted into place and secured while work begins on reconstructing the bonnet. On the second bus, the rear panel must be pulled back into shape before a new cover can be cut and fitted. Both buses need to be back in service within 2 days.
Oh, look, these things, when they're off the road, they're losing about $3 to $4 grand a day. So you can imagine they are usually quite adamant that these go back on the road as fast as you can. Obviously, repaired like properly as well, so you have to allow time for that.
Daniel is the man for the job. He's one of 3 body repairers at the depot and has worked on all sorts of buses, but this one is a first.
So these windscreens, they're bulky, they're heavy, so you got to be really careful with them. I've never actually replaced the windscreen on this model of bus before either.
It took a hit.
The second bus has also sustained some major damage.
Yeah, that's the other bus that hit this. So Nathan's just started doing the smash repair on it.
This high priority job is threatening to wreck this week's maintenance schedule and could impact the depot's ability to run all bus services.
We weren't expecting for this to happen, and something like this comes in and throws a spanner in the works, and we don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, it does put pressure on some of the staff here.
As much as people think, hey, it's just washing a machine, it is quite an art. It does take a certain kind of person to get good at something like this.
In an oversized shed on the southern outskirts of Brisbane, hard-working mega machinery is given a makeover.
You have machines come in like this, and when you see the end result, yeah, you do take quite a bit of pride in the work that you do. When you see it come out of the paint, out of detail, out of the mechanics, and it look $1 million, yeah, you do take a bit of pride in that.
The team at Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers is all about transforming old workhorses for new owners.
We need to give the machine the best possible chance to give it the best possible money. You can't expect to be rolling a machine like this in through the gates and then expect to get $500,000 for it.
It's Friday afternoon, and a 33-ton, 500 horsepower articulated truck has just turned up.
We've done a lot bigger machines than this. This is probably around the mid-range.
Regardless of size, all machinery is given the same treatment. The wash crew will use high-powered gurneys to blast away years of grease, oil and dirt from all over the truck. The cleansed vehicle will need to drip dry before windows are taped up and less robust parts removed in preparation for sandblasting. High-pressure air-powered hoses will shoot sand all over the truck to smooth any imperfections and return it to bare metal. Once it's back to a blank canvas, the paint team takes over, spraying the machine to look like new. The whole process will take at least 4 days to complete, and with the auction scheduled for next week, there's no time to lose. The dirty work of getting the truck clean has been given to the young fellas, Tristan and Jeremy.
See how you've got all of that underlying dirt there? Dirt, oil.
We have a look over it first, so see what we need to hit, see how bad it is and roughly how much time it'll take, and then we will degrease the whole thing. So we'll hit all the grease points with degreaser. You can see it working there. It just pulls the grease up off the pivot points, and then we use the high pressure water hose on hot, because the hot water saves time by about 1/4 to half.
The gurney fires water at a powerful 3,000 pounds per square inch. The pressure is so great, only 130 litres is needed to clean the truck.
So we're just doing anything that the painters will need, so grease, rust, dirt, oil, all that needs to come off, so then when the new coat of paint comes on, it doesn't peel straight off after. The goal for today is to get that whole machine washed and ready for paint before we leave.
2 hours of solid cleaning still hasn't delivered a machine that passes inspection.
Still a bit in there, bro.
Cleaning supervisor Ezra is responsible for keeping the truck on schedule and up to standard.
So just that point at the back. And just a bit cleaner in around there as well.
Any grease remaining will jeopardise the paint job. But if the truck is to have any chance of making the auction, cleaning must be completed today. It needs to dry over the weekend before it can be sandblasted.
It's a bit of a task, I know, man. But yeah, I'll need this within the hour.
If it's not broken down, there's always something to fix around here.
In Brisbane, Queensland, the City Cat and Kitty Cat ferries are a vital cog in the public transport system for the city. It's the job of the maintenance crew at River City Ferries, part of the Sea-Link Travel Group, to keep the fleet of 29 vessels shipshape and on the water. Marine technicians Cam and Craig are responsible for the mechanical side of the maintenance.
It is a cramped work area, but it is a very enjoyable work area.
Often finding themselves in far from ideal environments.
Hot and tight.
Got a lot of room down here.
Fortunately, both are boat lovers, even if their own craft aren't quite to this scale.
It's about 3 meters long and it's got a 30 on the back of it. Absolute weapon, absolutely love it.
The multi-million-dollar passenger ferries are 25 metres long, with 2 diesel engines capable of producing an impressive combined 800 horsepower of propulsion. Today, it's the Madeire's turn for some attention, and this 10-year-old vessel is going nowhere fast.
Every 3 years we'll do a refit, so that includes removal of the engines, shafts, couplings, carpet. It'll get a paint job, new sticker placed onto the vessel. We'll do a full strip and refit everything so it looks like a brand new vessel again.
This major overhaul will take 8 weeks to complete. But for the mechanical crew, the first priority is out with the old, to make way for the new. And they only have today to do it.
Today's goal is to remove both of our engines out, remove our 2 propellers underneath the vessel, our 2 couplings in either engine room, and our shafts extraction today.
To get the process started, Cam and Craig will disconnect fittings from both engines and then attach chains to lifting points. They'll use a gantry to carefully manoeuvre the 1.2-tonne motors from their snug compartments to avoid any damage. While the engines will be decommissioned, the gearboxes are going to be used on the new diesel motors, so they need to be protected. Once each engine is safely on the ground, it will be taken to the workshop and stripped of any reusable parts. The crew will then head back into the 2 engine compartments to disconnect each of the couplings from the propeller shafts, which will then be pulled out and taken away for inspection. With other boats already backing up for repairs, this part of the refit needs to be completed today to keep to the tight maintenance schedule.
So we'll connect that front chain.
The engines are still operational, but with the heavy workload they carry, they're replaced after every 36,000 hours of use.
All right, so I'm going to bring up some weight on it and we'll just check and make sure nothing's still attached.
It's a delicate operation to fit the bulky engine through the narrow opening.
We need to come back down a little and pivot our rear up.
While the crew is on a tight time schedule, the risk of rushing a job like this could have costly consequences.
If it's to catch, it can make the job quite difficult. We can tear other components off the vessel. There's a lot of components that are still running along the outboard side of the vessel, hydraulic lines, electrical cables. So if we're to catch on that, that's quite a big job to replace that. All right, I'm coming up still.
It's pretty critical that we get those back on the road. I mean, the workshop never stops. Just because we've got 2 accidents in doesn't mean that more aren't getting smashed. So it never stops.
The maintenance crew at Leichhardt Bus Depot is dealing with 2 buses damaged in a collision.
Generally, they don't get hit this bad in the front.
One of the new buses has a smashed windscreen, which Daniel needs to remove before the rest of the repair can be completed.
Looks like he's making some good progress. So yeah, I think he'll have that window out pretty soon.
All right, a moment of truth. See if this comes out.
It's not a clean break. A few final cuts are required to free the shattered screen.
It's half the job done. Now I just got to put it back in. That's the difficult part.
Nathan is using a hydraulic puller to get the rear of the second smashed bus back into shape.
Keep going, keep going.
Obviously, when it's had the impact, it's pushed everything forward. He's using that piece of equipment to pull it out the other way and hopefully pull it straight. Otherwise, it may need to be replaced.
Daniel has begun prepping his bus for the new windscreen to go in, but it appears he may have underestimated the size of the job.
Just putting a polyurethane glue on the windscreen frame. This is what holds the windscreen in, and it sounds like I'm just about to run out. Fantastic. I really thought one tube would get us through that.
So far, Daniel has been flying solo, but it will take a coordinated effort to fit the new windscreen.
So 3, 2, 1, lift. Yeah, Andrew, jump in the middle. All right. So we're just gonna sit on that spacer. Come across. Drop it down there on that spacer. The space, if you drop the window down on it, it'll hold it. Yeah, yep. Can you hold this, Andrew? Just for a sec, so I can run around and double check it. No, this is actually sitting really well. First windscreen on one of these buses, and it's actually sitting right. Yeah.
A bit of duct tape helps secure the screen in place as it bonds with the glue.
So we're just gonna leave it for about 6 hours like that. In the meantime, I'll likely start the repairs on the rest of the bus, just so we can let it sort of dry a bit.
And that looks like a breakdown.
Any hopes of making headway in today's schedule have now been dashed by reports of a broken down bus.
I pulled up to traffic, put the handbrake on, went to accelerate, let the handbrake off, and the bus won't move.
Yeah, there's nothing I'm able to advise you over the radio. I'll get a mechanic to your location.
The timing couldn't be worse. It's rush hour and the streets of Sydney are packed.
When your doors are open, the brakes come on to prevent the vehicle rolling away. There may be an electrical fault with that, so they're stuck on all the time, he can't move.
Mechanic Aaron has been pulled off another job to get the bus moving again. After a decade at the depot, he's well equipped to deal with this sort of issue.
So we'll go there and isolate all the electrical systems and hopefully it'll move for us. There's our bus.
Fortunately, the breakdown is close to the depot, but as traffic banks up, Aaron realises he's under a lot of pressure to get the bus moving.
It's in the middle of the road. Not the best spot. Not a good time for it.
With this machine here, it did come in a bit late.
The team from Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers is rushing to get an articulated truck ready for sale in 5 days.
The customer tries to use it as much as they can, make as much money out of it as they can, and then they drop it off to us late. But that kind of pushes us time-wise, definitely.
A final push by the washdown crew has managed to get this Friday afternoon job finished, so the truck can move on to the next phase of its facelift.
Yeah, just like the dishes, mate, it does need a drip dry. So it'll drip dry over the weekend and then kind of be ready to rock and roll on Monday.
It's the start of a new week, but Friday's big wash has not produced the results the team was hoping for.
Our washing's not finished. If we put this in right now, it's going to turn into a big crumb sausage. Any sand that we put on it is just going to stick to it.
An early morning inspection has found some places the cleaning crew missed.
You know, so we can't really blast it at this point.
The machine now has to be re-washed, which means it can't be sandblasted today. While the cleaning continues, the crew plans to start stripping any parts that are likely to be damaged by the sandblasting. But a closer inspection of the truck reveals some more potential setbacks to the schedule.
It's a little bit rusty, eh? They do get knocked around. They're in a really bad environment. Any large dents, just anything that cosmetically doesn't look good. Obviously, we've got to turn this into a saleable item. The front bumper bars had a little bit of damage there, some light damage up on the bonnet. We've just got to present a good-looking machine that can draw the money on sale day. We need to do a little bit of repair work on the machine. It's not perfect. It's been beaten around a little bit.
The team now needs to do some running repairs to make sure any minor issues don't turn into major headaches.
What we'll be doing here is we'll be doing some minor rust repairs. A lot of this is going to get worse. After sandblast, there'll be a lot bigger holes here for us to repair.
It's yet another frustration in this refurbishment with a client that's keen to sell quickly.
There's no not getting it done. We'll strive to get everything on time and to a standard that they expect.
If it's the catch, it can make the job quite difficult. We can tear other components off the vessel.
The maintenance team from River City Ferries is trying to remove a bulky CityCat engine through an undersized hatch.
So we're hitting on the header tank on the front bracket there, so it's a very tight clearance. So we'll just try and come up a little bit more. All right, let it come back. Okay, so we're free. All right.
The first engine is coming out with a minimum of fuss.
All right, we clear still on the front. Coming up. Wonderful. All right, you're right to come out now, man.
This high flyer is now headed to the workshop, and buoyed by its success, the crew gets ready to repeat the process on the starboard engine.
We do one perfect, always happens, and the second one will play up. But fingers crossed, we can pull with no problem. All right.
Just as Camden predicted, they've already encountered a problem.
Salt water pipe coming under. Can you tell me if that's still connected or not? It is? Okay, all right. I'll grab some tools. Hold up.
They've just discovered the saltwater feed line connecting the sea strainer to the main engine pump is still attached.
There's just a black rubber hose, and we're just basically cutting that off so that the engine is able to move back out. Okay, that's free. All good? Yep, free. Rightio.
With all umbilicals now severed, the engine is free to lift unencumbered.
You right?
Yep. All good. Okay, touch the head of tank.
All right.
I've got a 5 mil clearance.
All right.
Both engines are identical, but because they sit on opposite sides of the boat, it makes a big difference to their orientation and access.
This is the harder one to get out of the two sides.
So I'm just gonna bring it up 2 lengths, just to bring that back end up a little bit more, because we're touching on our gearbox and we're a bit tight on the front on our header tank. We'll try that and just see how it comes up. All right, we're coming up. How's the front?
But Craig might have spoken too soon, as this problematic starboard engine hits yet another snag.
We're just catching on this top bracket over here. This one's not going to play the game today.
And just as one problem is overcome, another takes its place.
Rest pretty firm on the filter mount.
We might have to get a podgy bar and just lever that up there.
Cam is hoping a metal bar will help to manipulate the engine into a better lift position. And with other ferries lining up for repairs, this engine needs to be out sooner rather than later.
All right, we'll just have to try and give it a jiggle, man. Just watch your fingers.
It's in the middle of the road. Not the best spot. Not a good time for it.
A broken down bus is causing rush hour chaos in Sydney, and mechanic Aaron has been tasked with getting it moving again.
The door brakes seem to be stuck on. So we'll just override the doors, see if it makes a difference. That's it, we're moving.
It's a simple fix, but one the drivers aren't trained to do.
And they just got to sit there and deal with the public while they wait for one of us to turn up.
Back at the depot, the reconstruction of the other damaged bus is proving problematic.
All right, let's try again.
The replacement windscreen fitted easily, but the frame for the bonnet is far more fiddly. The bus appears to have sustained more damage than was initially suspected, which is going to make this more than a one-day job.
There's our problem. It looks like this is going to need a little bit more realignment. I'll have to stretch it apart and try and push it back into place bit by bit, and then attempt to refit it again. What time is it? I'll probably have to do it tomorrow.
It's a new day at the bus depot, but the morning isn't off to a promising start for Andrew.
Currently we have 189 clear buses. That's buses that aren't stopped for any maintenance. So we need 197.
Less than an hour away from morning rush hour, Andrew needs to find 8 more buses to cover peak demand, and he's running out of options.
A driver booked the vehicle up this morning for an engine fault light on the dashboard. So I'm just plugging in the diagnostic software to run a quick test, find out what the issue is and see if it's something that we can get out for the morning peak.
With the fleet gearing up for a busy morning on the roads, Andrew doesn't have much time to find faults and fix them.
So thankfully it's just an oil top up. So I'll just go grab some oil, give it a quick top up, and we'll be able to push it out for the peak.
Andrew still needs to get several more buses fixed and on the road, but he's running out of time.
This one has a little bit of urgency to it. Because obviously we weren't expecting it to be off the road. So I think the main thing is we get it back as quick as possible.
There's no not getting it done. We'll strive to get everything on time and to a standard that they expect.
The team at Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers have had to wait for a truck to dry and are now behind schedule for sandblasting and painting as they get it prepped for sale.
This is the hard part. You know, you're prepping, get ready to sandblast. The rest should be easy.
It's Frank's job to remove all fragile pieces from the truck before it rolls in for the high-powered paint stripping treatment.
Just gonna put it inside. Safe place.
It's a labour of love for Frank.
Just say I'm a hard worker, you know, quick learner. So they give me the job. Yeah, I've been here 4 years now. I love it.
But today's truck might test Frank's devotion.
No luck.
A number of nuts are proving problematic.
It's not helping when you got a big hand. Can't fit in the hole.
The bolts have seized up after years of exposure to the elements.
It's so rusty. Can't even come up. Probably snap. Look at it.
Leaving little option if the truck is going to be stripped today.
It's too rusty. We can't get the nut off. Gonna go and get the grinder.
This extra step is cutting into precious preparation time.
No, it's gonna take longer. It's twice as longer than if you get it off of the spinner.
The grinder is starting to have an impact.
Slowly get there.
We're making good progress, so if we can push forward a bit quicker than normal, we'll end up back where we should be by the end of the week.
The team is hoping the refurbishment will add an extra $40,000 to the value of the truck. If all goes to plan, they'll sell it for around $150,000. That's as long as there are no more setbacks.
Ooh. Just keep breaking. The cutter, the plate, I'm gonna go change it, put a new one on, and then go again.
They're already cutting it fine without any breakdowns. Fortunately, this is one of the easier fixes.
Try that one. Try that one, I think that's the one that you're after.
Frank is once again powering through the last of the strip down.
We're not far away now. I think it should be another hour.
Most of the more fragile parts have been removed from the truck in preparation for sandblasting.
All right.
But just as they're coming close to completing the strip,
Snap.
Frank discovers another problem that could prevent the truck from progressing any further.
If stuff like this go on the sandblast, it will keep blocking.
All right, we'll just have to try and give it a jiggle, man. It's gonna be a bit... Just watch your fingers. Fingers?
Yep.
There we go.
It's taken a lot of manipulating, but the starboard engine is finally free from its compartment on the City Cat ferry.
Clear on that post on that side?
Yep.
Righto. So we've got both of our engines out of the boat now. So next off, we'll strip our gearbox, our 6 mounts, the mounting brackets on the front for our pulleys and hydraulic pumps. and get any additional components that we can salvage off of the engines before they go back to get decommissioned.
The replacement engines have already arrived,
Still in the bags, ready to go. Brand new.
but they need some components from the old motors before they're up and running.
That's it. That's our gearbox removed.
At around $20,000, it's one of the most valuable parts.
Yeah, it's not something that you want to drop, that's for sure. It's a bit out of your paycheck.
Thankfully, the gearbox on the second engine also separates without any issue.
Yeah, it went quite smooth. It's good when you got a reasonable amount of room to move around and maneuver everything, so it was quite nice that it worked that easily.
Even when they've been stripped of all the essential components, these retired engines are still a valuable source of spare parts. So the crew takes every precaution to preserve what's left.
So just taping up our intake. You never know, somebody might need another component on the inside, and we don't want water in there. That's the last thing we want.
But not every part can be saved. After 36,000 hours of service, some are showing signs of age.
So we're going to start on the exhaust now. So the black component is our exhaust manifold. Runs between all 6 cylinders and has a water jacket around the outside of it. So we'll start removing that, and then at least we've got a spare part. Wow. It turns out that it's actually got a crack already. You can see the coolant has solidified down the side of it, and it's actually cracked on the top somewhere. So that exhaust is basically no use to us anymore, unfortunately. So that'll be a part that we can't salvage. Bummer. That's how it is, I guess. So yeah.
Despite a few losses, the engines have yielded a good supply of spares. But it's been a time-consuming salvage operation. And there's still a lot to do today to keep on schedule.
There is a bit of pressure at the moment to get this refit out due to there's other refits sitting ready to come in. So we've got to try and get this one out as soon as we possibly can and get ready for the next one.
It's back to the boat for the next phase of the overhaul. The removal of the 2 propeller shafts.
The shafts and the couplings, there's a good push on those to get those out of the vessel so we can start cracking on with other jobs within the yard today.
But Cam suspects this won't be a straightforward pull-out.
So if it catches it, it's going to get interesting.
The coupling that connects the shaft to the gearbox has spent 3 years in a corrosive environment, and there's every chance it won't want to budge.
It's very tight.
This one has a little bit of urgency to it. Because obviously we weren't expecting it to be off the road. So I think the main thing is we get it back as quick as possible.
Andrew and his team at Leichhardt Bus Depot have been forced to do running repairs to find enough transport for morning commuters.
3810's clear for service, 3810, the headlight's done.
The maintenance team has managed to get a handful of buses back on the road for the morning peak, but they're still one short.
I'm at 196 at the moment. I've got 35 minutes to find a bus.
Body repairer Daniel has been pulled off his bonnet rebuild in a desperate bid to get another bus operational.
So this will be the final bus for the morning peak, I think.
Andrew is hoping a broken door pin will be an easy fix.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Just got it. Oh,
hang on.
The whole thing off.
In the rush to get it repaired quickly, the pin has now dropped out.
Going.
You got the other roll pin?
Yep, got it, yep.
Andrew is still hopeful the door can be fixed in time.
What do we got? 20 minutes, should be able to get this done.
As long as the replacement pin slots in easily. At last, Daniel's handiwork appears to be holding. With minutes to go, the door still needs to be tested.
So now what we're doing, we're just building the vehicle up with air, since the doors are operated pneumatically. And we're just making sure that there's no other movement independent in that pole.
Yep, all good. Thanks.
Yeah.
The team has scraped through by the narrowest of margins, allowing them to return to their routine jobs. But the calm is fleeting.
Oh, another changeover. Here we go. Oh, another breakdown more than likely.
Once again, Aaron is hitting the road to save the day. The bus won't budge if the ignition won't fire.
We're going to get under and try to manually actuate the starter motor.
It's becoming clear this one won't be solved easily. As the last of the accessories is removed from a truck, another problem has surfaced for the refurbishment crew.
Oh, dirt. Bit dirty. If it's stuff like this go on the sandblast, it will keep blocking.
No matter how well you wash a machine, dirt can be hiding anywhere. So there's no choice but to add an extra step to the process.
I will get the air blower and blow all the dirt off before we put it inside the sandblast.
All of the glass on the truck needs to be covered in plastic to protect it from the force of the high-pressured sand.
We don't want to damage anything. It's going to cost money if we do. So yeah, it's very important.
Frank needs to be doubly sure the glass is covered properly.
With the masking, you got to put two layers of the table. If you hit the tape by mistake, you're going to hit the window.
It's a tedious task, but much quicker than the strip down.
Do a final check. Done. Look all good to me.
With any final, forgotten grease and grime needing to be cleaned away, sandblasting will have to wait until tomorrow.
It's a good workout for me. You know, I really enjoy sandblast.
It's a new day, and Frank has turned up ready for a high-powered session of paint stripping.
When you pull the trigger, the hose is like a fire hose, but it's probably 10 times stronger than the fire hose. So you gotta prepare yourself.
The sand is fired at such a force, the room is shut off from the rest of the refurb facility.
Yeah, door closed.
And anyone remaining in the room has to wear special protective equipment to avoid damage from the powerful spray.
I'm just about to go walk in the moon.
After days of careful preparation, it's time for this truck to be stripped back to bare basics.
All right, ready to go, eh? Let's have some fun.
It's very tight.
A corroded coupling on a City Cat is resisting all pressure to release.
It's a steel coupling, so it starts to rust up a little bit. So we'll put a bit of heat into that and hopefully it'll just expand it a little bit, just so that we can get that off, that taper. So now we'll just let that cool down for a little while because that's going to be quite red hot.
Turning the heat up has helped. There's no resistance as the coupling comes free.
All right, so now we've come off the shaft, we'll hook up the overhead gantry and we'll lift that coupling up and off.
Once the coupling is out of the way, the crew's efforts can be focused on the other end of the shaft.
So now we'll go down the back and we'll remove our propeller and get ready for the shaft to be extracted from the vessel. Right, we'll move it onto the pallet now.
Even with the prop out of the way, they can still see some problems shifting the shaft.
So just inside here is called our stern tube. Our shaft runs through the center of it, and inside it looks like a few barnacles, so we could possibly get caught up on that, so it'll be interesting to see how we go with that.
Cam has a simple solution to help the shaft slide out.
So this is just truck wash, a bit of soap. Hopefully it'll just lube it up that little bit. We've got rubber bearings in here, so we're just hoping that that'll allow us to be able to pull it a bit easier.
The lubrication seems to be doing the trick.
All right, we'll see if we can try and manhandle it out now. We've gotten out of that first bearing, so we'll try and lift it a bit, put a bit of spray on the shaft. We'll try and pull it out, eh?
The shaft is a solid 100 kilos of stainless steel.
A bit of weight, but with the added truck wash, it makes it go quite nicely. All right, just slow it down there. So we're gonna go from here just straight onto those blocks. You right? Yep. Down. Wonderful. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. Not too much growth on the shaft, which is good. So yeah, from here it'll go out to an outside contractor to get completed.
One down and one to go. With only a couple of hours of daylight remaining, the crew is hoping the port side will prove just as straightforward.
And on the blocks. Wonderful, good work guys. We're all done here. That's the end of it.
The mechanical team has achieved their goal for the day. Both engines and shafts have been removed, getting the soon-to-be revamped Madiri one step closer to being back in the water.
So yeah, we're pretty happy with the refit so far, how it's went. We've got another boat stacking up behind it, ready to come in. So the boys worked very well under the timeframes that we've been given. So yeah, on to the next refit from here.
Oh, another breakdown more than likely.
It's been a problematic peak hour for Leichhardt Bus Depot. It's taken a huge effort to get enough buses roadworthy. Now, another has broken down.
Might help you.
The bus won't budge if the ignition won't fire.
We're going to get under and try to manually actuate the starter motor.
It's becoming clear this one won't be solved easily.
Press the start button. Yeah. Is that good?
Back at the depot, Nathan has managed to get the rear of the damaged bus back into shape. But Daniel's bonnet rebuild hasn't quite gone to plan.
So, unfortunately, the materials didn't come for me to be able to repair this. So we ended up getting a skin for it instead. So I'm gonna have to change the skin.
The skin is the outer layer of the bus. Daniel now needs to cut a fiberglass panel to fit the damaged front and cover it.
Test fit it with like some double-sided tape, check that it fits on the bus, gaps out, and then I'll sticker it on, hopefully it'll be dry.
Aaron is also making good progress on the side of the road. He's discovered the starter motor was burnt out, so a new one has been sent from the depot. But fitting it is far from fun.
Starter motor is tucked up in underneath the exhaust, between the exhaust and the engine sump. So it's hot and oily, terrible spot to work.
In this cramped position, Aaron needs to maneuver the 15-kilogram part into position.
Try and lift it up above your face is not ideal.
Despite the difficult work conditions, the repair seems to be working.
Running.
As long as it lasts until the bus is back at the depot for a more permanent fix.
I've got it running, but we can't turn it off. Can we get a driver out here to drive it back quickly? Yeah.
It's been a tricky process cutting the fiberglass bonnet to the perfect shape.
It should be tight enough.
It's now the only part preventing the bus from returning to service, and Daniel is nervous it might not fit.
It's ready to go on now anyway. Yeah, scariest part of the job, even scarier than the windscreen.
Nathan is on hand to help lift the panel into place, and once it's secured, the moment of truth has arrived.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's like I bought one. Straight off the factory floor. See if it locks. 1, 2. Yes! That's it.
One bus down, one still to go. But Nathan is also near the end of his repair. The rear cover has now been glued into place.
The canopy looks really good. Like probably one of the better canopies I've seen get done.
It's a huge relief for Supervisor Andrew in his never-ending quest to keep buses on the road and commuters happy.
Daniel's wrapping up his bus, so that'll definitely be out for the afternoon peak, and I think Nathan's one won't be far behind, and having these two is definitely going to help because we don't know what the afternoon's going to have in store.
Right, ready to go, eh? Let's have some fun.
The crew from Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers is about to discover if all its prep work has paid off. 4 tons of sand will be fired at the truck at a pressure of 110 pounds per square inch, removing paint from any surface it comes into contact with.
You see on this one, the paint of this one's so easy to come off.
With a truck of this size, it takes 2 people an entire day to cover every patch of paint.
Look beautiful. Look much better now. Can't see the rust, can't see the paint. Perfect.
It's exhausting work and not for the faint-hearted. But with the right amount of dedication to the job, the transformation can be incredible.
Beautiful. It looks like they just come straight from the factory.
Frankie's finished with blast, a few hold-ups before that, but he's kind of made up a little bit of time for us. We'll be ready to start painting today.
The paint process is one of the final steps in getting the truck prepped for a new lease on life. It takes 55 litres of 2-pack cat yellow to have this piece of heavy machinery restored to its former glory. It's been a rough road to get here, but this articulated truck now looks as good as new and just in time to be listed for auction.
We've basically finished everything, we've painted it, everything's gone smoothly, we've obtained a good finish. We should be able to move him straight out into the yard, make it a saleable item.